Everyone keeps asking whether software is dead, whether AI replaced developers, whether every app has already been built. I think they're asking the wrong question. The real question isn't whether AI can build software. It can. Cursor went from launch to over $100 million in revenue faster than almost any software company in history. And its entire product is AI writing code. That debate is over. The real question is, who is going to own the software? Because over the next 5 years, millions of businesses are going to adopt AI. Thousands of new products will be created. Some people are going to own those products. Most people won't. They'll just be customers of the people who move first. Here's the example I can't stop thinking about. Cal AI, a calorie tracking app where you take a photo of your food and AI estimates the calories. That's it. That's the whole product. It was co-founded by a teenager. Zach Yadagari was still in high school, and within about a year, the app was publicly reported to be doing over $1 million a month in revenue. Not a research lab, not a venture-backed team of 50. A kid with a phone, AI tools, and a problem people actually have because nobody wants to manually log 200 grams of rice into a food diary. The opportunity isn't gone, but I don't think it'll stay this wide open forever. 5 years ago, building software was expensive. You needed a technical co-founder. You needed funding. You needed to convince developers to join you before you could even test the idea. Look at what it used to take. Instagram had 13 employees when it sold for $1 billion. And at the time, that was considered insanely lean. WhatsApp had around 50 people when Facebook paid $19 billion for it. Those were the outliers, the absolute ceiling of leverage. Today, that ceiling is the starting point. Pieter Levels runs Photo AI, Remote OK, and Nomad List. Millions a year in revenue, completely alone, no employees. He shares the revenue dashboards publicly. Midjourney reached hundreds of millions in revenue with a team of around 40. Lovable, an app builder out of Europe, reportedly hit 17 million in annual revenue within months of launching. You have AI, cloud hosting, open source software, global freelance marketplaces. Building an MVP has never been cheaper or faster. That doesn't mean success is easy. It means the excuse is gone. The barrier to entry has completely changed. People say the app market is saturated. I disagree. The obvious ideas are saturated. Another to-do list, another weather app, another notes app. Those are crowded, and they've been crowded for a decade. But look at what's actually winning. Cal AI didn't invent calorie tracking. MyFitnessPal existed for 15 years. They just removed one painful step, typing, and turned it into a photo. That tiny wedge of convenience became a business printing money. Chatbase started as one developer, Yasser El-Said, letting businesses train a chatbot on their own documents, a thin layer on top of ChatGPT. It went from side project to millions in annual revenue while everyone on Twitter was busy calling rappers dead. Levels.fyi started as a spreadsheet of tech salaries because job offers were a black box. It grew past 10 million in revenue, run by a tiny team, solving one specific, painful information problem. Every industry, every hobby, every business, every workflow, there are still thousands of painful problems that haven't been solved well. Dentists fighting with scheduling software, contractors quoting jobs in spreadsheets, coaches managing clients through text messages. The internet doesn't reward generic software, it rewards useful software. And notice something about every example I just gave you. The product wasn't actually the first step. The problem was, most founders start backwards. They ask, what should I build? Then they spend 6 months building it, launch to silence, and conclude the market is dead. Cal AI worked because the pain was already proven. Millions of people download calorie trackers every January and quit by February. Not because they stopped caring, but because logging food is miserable. The demand existed. The friction was the product opportunity. So instead ask, what problem keeps costing someone time or money every single week? People pay to remove pain, not because your technology is impressive. Nobody using Cal AI cares which vision model it runs on. They care that dinner took 4 seconds to log. Now, here's the biggest mistake I see. Business owners think they need to become software engineers first. They spend 2 years grinding through React, Node, databases, Docker, cloud certifications, and by the time they're ready, the wave they wanted to catch is already gone. Compare that to Blake Anderson. He's one of the co-founders behind Cal AI, and before that he shipped Umax and a viral dating assistant app. His pattern is simple: spot a trend, ship a focused app fast using AI and whatever help he needs, and let distribution do the heavy lifting. He didn't wait until he was the best programmer in the room. He understood the product, the user, and the marketing, and plugged in technical skill where he needed it. Your job isn't to become the world's best developer. Your job is to understand enough to make good decisions and to find the right technical people, which brings up something many founders misunderstand. Hiring developers from lower cost countries isn't automatically a mistake. The cost of living is different. A senior engineer in Eastern Europe, Latin America, or Southeast Asia may charge a fraction of San Francisco rates and be every bit as good. Some of the biggest software companies in the world already operate this way. GitLab runs fully remote with people in over 60 countries. Automatic, the company behind WordPress, has been globally distributed for 20 years. Talent is everywhere. Payroll just hasn't caught up. The mistake isn't hiring affordably. The mistake is hiring without knowing how to evaluate technical ability. That's where projects fail. Not because someone was inexpensive, because someone wasn't qualified, and the founder had no way to tell the difference. And telling the difference is getting harder, not easier. Resumes are easy to fake, portfolios can be copied. AI writes amazing proposals now. Genuinely amazing. Every applicant sounds like a staff engineer at Google. But software isn't judged by confidence, it's judged by execution. Can they navigate a code base they've never seen? Can they debug a problem that isn't in a tutorial? Can they explain a technical decision in plain English? Can they still maintain the product 6 months later when the excitement is gone and the edge cases pile up? You don't find that out from a proposal. You find it out from real work. Small paid test projects, real tickets in a real code base, watching how someone thinks, not how someone talks, because not all developers are equal. The skill gap in this industry is enormous, and it's invisible from the outside. An apprentice follows tutorials. A junior finishes assigned tasks. A mid-level engineer solves problems independently. A senior designs systems and mentors others. A product engineer understands both the technology and the business. They'll push back on a feature because the data says users don't need it, and elite engineers create leverage everywhere they touch. That gap is why Midjourney can generate hundreds of millions with 40 people, while some 1,000-person companies ship nothing. It's why early Instagram, 13 people, could serve tens of millions of users. If you're building a company, hiring one level higher often saves months of work. One great engineer is routinely worth more than 3 mediocre ones, and the 3 mediocre ones cost more combined, because ideas don't become companies. People do. The right developer can completely change your business. The wrong one can burn 6 months and leave you with a code base nobody else wants to touch. Technology compounds. Good engineering compounds. Good communication compounds. Good hiring compounds. Everything starts with people. And here's the part that should create some urgency. AI is still incredibly young. We're only a few years into this transition. Every month, new tools, new models, new startups. But we've seen this movie before. When the App Store opened in 2008, developers were getting rich off flashlight apps. Within a few years, that was impossible. Early YouTube channels grew off videos that would go nowhere today. The first wave of ChatGPT wrappers, the ones that moved in 2023, like Chatbase, built real revenue before the platforms absorbed those features and the copycats flooded in. Eventually, the easiest opportunities disappear. Competition increases. Customer acquisition gets expensive. Margins shrink. That's how every technology wave works, without exception. The people who benefit the most are usually the ones who started early, not because they were smarter. Zach Yadagari wasn't smarter than every product manager in Silicon Valley. He started while everyone else was still debating whether AI apps were a fad. So if you've been thinking about building software, don't wait until everything is perfect. Find a real problem. Talk to potential customers. Actual conversations, not surveys. Build a small version. Launch it while it still embarrasses you a little. Improve it every week. The hardest part isn't writing code anymore. AI genuinely handles more of that every month. The hardest part is finding the right opportunity and the right people to build it with. That's where businesses are created, not in the tools, in the judgment. If you enjoy videos about startups, AI, software, and building products, subscribe. I'll be documenting everything I learn as I build, hire, and grow, the wins and the expensive mistakes. I'll see you in the next one.